How's it? Today is Saturday, November 18th, finishing off the week of my kind of shifting into a low volume, high intensity phase with just some powers. I'm doing my best just to move around. I actually lowered the intensity today from last week. Very similar to what I did last week, just kind of just trying to feel out, make sure that I feel okay. I came into today with a lot different head than I came into last Saturday. Yesterday's lifting was not the best, nor was Wednesday, nor was Monday. But I think today showed me that I'm able to move around, and if I get warmed up properly and not think too much about what's going on, like as far as how my body feels. Of course, I will definitely care about how my body feels if I can't do something. And if something mechanically hurts in my body, then I will definitely make the necessary adjustments so that I can actually move and lift weights. But today was pretty good. I think like when I'm looking at these snatches, I feel a lot more snappy than I did in days prior. My shoulder is not the best, but it feels like it's better than it was yesterday. Even with just the 1 day difference. Like you can even see, like when I lock out on these lighter power snatches, it's locking out much quicker at a much quicker spot over my head, which is I think a lot of the reasons why I missed all of my snatches yesterday. Well, I didn't miss them all. I missed 3 out of 4. But you look at this set of 60. Look at how quick that lockout is. It's not really. You'll see later that this is this thing that I was thinking about. When I actually go heavier from some power snatches, because I felt pretty good for these sets, or this single set at 60. I want the kind of bar to line up and then lock into place in almost a straight line and not really go around a circular joint or like a circular pivot. You'll see on like the 80 what I'm talking about. The bar at some point gets to the right height, but my body's not in the correct position. And so it sort of rolls around my shoulder. I don't think any of these really happen, or I don't think any of these on this set showcase that the way that I'm kind of explaining. But I'm pretty happy with how quickly I was able to move with all of these. I was doing my best to stay in the pocket. That's something that I was thinking about a lot for the entirety of this entire week. Entirety of this entire week. Why did I say that? That's such a redundant phrase. But here's 70. You can see how it's rounding off a little bit on the lockout, on the right shoulder specifically. And here's 80, and this is much worse than 70 is. You see that? It's a little bit softer, and like that up and down vertical movement is not the only direction I'm moving. It's not independently going up and down. It's going up and down and back and forward. After that, I moved into my power cleans. I was really worried about these because my shoulder hurts a lot more on these than the snatch. I think that I don't know if it's the top position or it's somewhere in between. I think like as I hold the weight over my head, it doesn't hurt. As I hold the weight on my shoulders, it doesn't hurt. Somewhere in the middle of that is when it hurts. I don't know if it's right after I push or right at the dip or what have you, but it doesn't feel super good. Aside from that, my shoulder feels fine today. I think I talked about it. Was it yesterday or was it on Wednesday? But, sitting here, reaching across to the outside of my left shoulder with my right hand, that was producing some pain a couple days ago, and it's a little bit, honestly, it's a little bit worse. It's a little bit worse than yesterday, but it's not nearly as bad as it was on Monday, and that is what I'm really caring about. Also, something happened really oddly at work today when I was folding some napkins and stuff at the restaurant. My left elbow, my UCL, the thing has been, I basically kind of had a minor tear in my UCL in like 2015. It was hurting. Like, it was worrying me how sore it was. It feels like a sensation where you need to crack a joint, but it just never comes and never cracks. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to reproduce it. I'm not going to try to reproduce it. I feel like my elbow is feeling a lot better now than it was earlier. I don't know what it is coming from, because I haven't felt like that in about 8 years. So that's a crazy thought to think. But pretty happy with how today went as far as it goes. Not too much else to say. But that's it for today. Thank you for watching. Shoots.